They call me the Dream Butcher, but that name never fit right, not on the inside. Maybe from the outside it made sense. The clean incisions, the perfect neural purges, the data trails I left behind like stitches. But in the mirror? In the grainy, flickering glass above my sink, framed by gray tile and flickering fluorescence, I don't see a butcher. I see a stranger who never made it out of someone else's skin. There's sag to my face now. Not age exactly, more like time pooling in the hollows beneath my eyes. Washed out irises like diluted ink, floating in the tepid bathwater of an expression that never fully forms. I look like someone who pays to watch other people feel. Someone whose empathy has long since rusted into voyeurism. The light from the kitchen hits just right. Square, sterile, indifferent. It doesn't judge me. It doesn't care. Neither does the room. The air here smells like nothing, not antiseptic, not rot, just absence. I keep it that way. No cooked meals, no sweat in the walls, no laundry softener clinging to the corners of my clothes. It's easy to keep a place clean when you remove all signs that someone ever lived in it. Clean is simple. Meaning is hard. My steps are slow as I cross the tiles barefoot, each footfall a dull sound swallowed by silence. The drawer opens with the faintest resistance. Too many repetitions have worn the track. Inside, nestled in velvet, the blade waits. My fingers hover over it for a second, then close with practiced steadiness. It fits in my grip like it was grown there, not made. The scalpel's spine presses firm against my thumb. The edge stays untouched. Not yet, it's not ready. The sharpness comes later. Sharpening is a ritual, and ritual matters. Protocol says I should use the ultrasonic bath, the auto sanctifiers, all the ministry-approved sanctums. But machines don't understand why the blade needs to be clean, not just sterile, clean, like memory scrubbed raw, like penance. Machines don't feel intent, but I do. I pull out the cloth, soft, threadbare. Used to be a handkerchief with some faded retro pattern, probably ironic in its former life. Now it smells faintly of old leather and what I call sleep metal, that buzz you feel behind your teeth when you're too close to concentrated amber. The cloth glides along the blade's length, each pass slower than the last. Then comes the drop. Amber. Nightmare residue. Illegal, unfiltered. I store it in a sealed capsule, a relic from some forgotten lab back when purity still had a price. I uncap it, tilt, and let a single golden bead roll onto the blade's tip. It glistens like honey dipped in scream. The scent alone makes my gums tighten. I bring it close, not to taste, but to feel. It vibrates through the blade, up into my hand, into my shoulder, into the part of my brain that remembers how it feels to matter. There it is, that whisper in the back of my skull, that pressure, not a thought, more like a suggestion, coiled and waiting. My pupils dilate, my balance shifts. The apartment tilts slightly as if gravity just learned a new name. I'm not in the dream yet, but its echo begins to press into the edges of the world around me. I slide the blade into its sheath and fasten it at my wrist. My fingers twitch once, as if testing the neural recall reflex, then settle. Everything's quiet. I leave the apartment. The hallway outside is what you'd expect from the Metroplex. Clean, dead, and obedient. Lights hum overhead in fixed intervals, daylight spectrum calibrated to prevent mood disruption. The walls are textured, not decorative, just rough enough to discourage loitering. Every square foot is frictionless by design. Nothing to catch your eye, nothing to hold your attention. Architecture engineered to erase you gently, A researcher in R&D once told me the ministry spent billions developing this aesthetic. They called it emotional suppression geometry. Every corridor, every office, every station stop, built to suppress thought, to make you malleable. They succeeded. I step on to the East Mag Line 5 stops from the Cradle Lab. No one speaks, no one looks. The car is full of silent silhouettes and muted grays, all staring into nothing, drowning in curated emptiness. People here don't make eye contact unless they've been assigned emotional support clearance. I'm not on anyone's list. I'm what they call socially non-integrated. That's their term. Sounds clean, sounds safe. What it means is I spend more time inside the minds of strangers than inside my own. I badge in at the lab with a flick of my wrist. The implant light's green. The gate sighs open. "Afternoon, Cade," Ops Tech Merrill mutters without looking up. She's chewing on a stylus like it owes her money. I don't answer. I never do. She slides the file toward me, a soft flick of her finger across the interface. The client's name blurs past. Doesn't matter. It never does. I only register the profile code, high-tier corporate, recurring aquaphobia, water dream loops, teeth imagery, childhood root probably, nothing unique. Phobia loop again? I ask, cracking my neck. Office flood. Carpet turns to water, then teeth. Classic displacement anxiety. Teeth, I echo, letting it sit in the air like a held breath. I didn't finish breakfast. Probably won't need it. Guess I'll wear the good shoes. The cradle waits. It reclines with all the grace of a dentist's chair, impersonal and vaguely judgmental. Wires thread into the ports at the base of my skull, direct neural interface. The setup's automatic now. No pain, no resistance. Just the soft lurch as my body fades from the inside out. That familiar drop, like falling through a mirror made of breath. Diagnostics flood the implant, white flashes of data, then the imprint. The dream's emotional code uploads straight into my sensory cortex. It hits different for everyone. Some get sense, others sounds. For me, it's texture. This one feels like wet wool on tile, slippery grief, panic held back with trembling effort. The purge tone follows, a deep, psychic frequency meant to strip personal, emotional residue. Standard hygiene procedure doesn't work on me anymore. I'm already primed. Vital steady, neural link stable, Merrill says like she always does. Wake me when something tries to kill me, I mumble. Then I drop. And in that moment, in that weightless shift between thought and place, I finally feel like the version of me that matters. Quick, clean, necessary. The butcher, the blade, the thing nightmares learn to fear. And I am home. The cradle seals around me with a hiss that feels too organic, not metal and air, more like something breathing, close and patient. Then everything vanishes. No fade, no tunnel, just rupture, thought torn from body, self discarded like a coat, and then place. I don't arrive in the dream. I collide with it. One heartbeat, I'm suspended in white diagnostic void. The next, I'm kneeling, ankle deep in waterlogged carpet, breath catching in my throat. The floor sucks at my boots like wet moss. The air tastes like stale sweat under fluorescent lights. This is no personal nightmare. This is corporate-grade hell. Open-plan office drowning in silent dread. Everything is too close. The cubicle walls curl inward. Desk legs bend at unnatural angles like they've softened from disuse or grief. Nothing is solid. This is a space mimicking itself, distorted through memory, compressed by time. Emotional geometry. I rise slowly, letting the dream settle around me. I'm not surprised by what I'm wearing. My suit, always the same. Dark, clean, muscle memory sharp. It's the body beneath that feels correct. Fast, balanced. No pain in the knees, no twitch in the neck. Just a hum of readiness. The version of me I trust to survive. The blade slides from the wrist loop, hilt fitting into my palm like second skin. The scalpel isn't just a tool, it's a compass. In dreams, direction doesn't exist, but intent does, and the blade points with certainty. The office is darkening, not from a power failure. The mood is changing. In dreams, light doesn't come from bulbs. It leaks in like pressure, emotion given luminance. Now it's shifting green, murky, dense, aquatic, like the color of deep water when you're too far from the surface to swim back. That's when I know. It's here. It doesn't announce itself. No roar, no footsteps, just presence. The carpet ripples. Water slaps softly against something invisible. A desk twitches sideways, unprovoked, and then the shape rises. It doesn't stand. It emerges, oozing from the floor like ink, dispersing into milk. No defined limbs, just tendrils, like half-decided thoughts. A single mouth stretches across its center, lipless and yawning, vibrating like it's already chewing through fear. I don't wait. I move. The scalpel arcs in a clean line, muscle memory, instinct, precision, contact. The blade bites, and amber flashes, sharp, pressurized, a scream translated into pressure. The creature's form fractures, flickers. In most cases, this would be the end. Impact plus amber equals purge, clean kill. But this one reforms, not healing, rewriting. The ceiling bends downward, lights sag like vines. The carpet tilts slightly. A filing cabinet yawns open at the back of the room, but inside aren't folders, just rows of teeth. I pivot, blade ready, but the shape doesn't lunge. It watches, it studies, and that's when I hear it. Under the ambient dream static, beneath the psychic dissonance of fear. A tone, low, harmonic, layered like echoes in a canyon made of thought, not part of the dream, not part of this dream. It's beneath it, threaded through it. The chorus. My stomach drops. This isn't a client loop anymore. This is deeper. This is signal. The dream isn't just expressing fear, it's broadcasting. And I've been seen. My fingers tighten around the scalpel. My breath thins. The shape flattens briefly, then reforms again. Limbs twisting, mouth splitting across its torso. It's not responding to the host's trauma anymore. It's adapting to mine. The dream bends inward. The floor convulses. Water rushes up through the carpet, seems like blood through stitches. The air turns thick, heavy. My body knows before I do. This thing isn't just reacting. It's communing. I step back, not out of fear, out of calculation. I've been in constructs this deep before, usually malformed echo pockets from repeated trauma dives. But nothing like this. Nothing so intentional. I slice again, not at the shape, but at the environment. The blade's edge finds the soft spot in the dream's fabric. Every dream has one, a weak seam, a thought unfinished. I pull. Reality inverts with a shriek, not a sound but a sensation, like being folded inside out. I exit the dream mid-collapse and crash back into the cradle like a body dropped from orbit. My chest arches. My lungs convulse. I suck air through clenched teeth. Every nerve screams like it's just been reattached. Meryl's voice cuts through the blur. You flatlined. Cade, you flatlined for 8 seconds. I'm half sitting, half curled. Sweat pours off me. The cradle is flashing red diagnostics across the upper HUD. 8 seconds. Too long. Talk to me, she says. What the hell happened in there? I don't answer immediately, because the truth is, I don't know how to explain what I saw. What saw me? My gaze drops to the scalpel. Amber residue still clings to the blade. That shouldn't be possible. Not after a dive. Not after that kind of heat. Amber burns during contact. It purges. That's its entire purpose. This should be clean, but it's not. And I feel it still deep in the back of my teeth. The whisper of pressure, the echo of that hum. It didn't end when I exited. It's still here. Meryl's saying something else now. Her voice feels far away. I lean back in the chair. My head swims. A shape beneath the dream. A signal inside fear. It watched me. Not like prey. Not like an enemy. Like a mirror. I know that feeling. I've been a hunter long enough to recognize the moment the terrain shifts. I wasn't cutting through someone else's nightmare. I was trespassing. And now I'm marked. Not just as intruder, as target, as invitation. It begins, as endings do, with clarity masquerading as desperation. 6 days since the encounter in the cradle, since the humming, since the amber didn't burn, since something in the dream reached back. I've run every sanctioned cradle in my radius dry, every hollowed-out well, every flagged psyche marked unstable, burnt, too contaminated to mine. I dove into memories like caves, digging through the soot for another taste of that frequency, but nothing, just noise, dull static, ghosts in loops. The dreams have changed. They recoil now, not from me, from something behind me, like I'm stained by contact, touched by a signal. They remember. Meryl watches me like I'm a lit match left too close to oxygen. My handler mumbles words like containment, reset, stain, severity level 6. I stopped answering her 2 dives ago. She pushed one last file across the console this morning like she was afraid it might bite her. Told me I needed rest. I told her where she could shove it. They won't stop me. Not yet. Not until the waking watch steps in. I don't intend to give them time. There's a terminal, a shadow node off the grid half buried in some abandoned Southline annex. Access restricted? Redacted. I burn everything getting in. Clearance tags, biometrics, identity threads. I'm no one by the time I find it. A file waits there, buried like a secret someone was too afraid to delete. Blackwood. He wasn't the first casualty. He was the first template. The original butcher. The man who didn't stumble into a malformed dream, but opened a door into something older than sleep and deeper than instinct. The Lucid King wasn't born from the dream. We made him. Blackwood made him. And now I know what I have to do. There's a cradle in my possession now, not ministry tech. Boneware, gutted, rebuilt by someone who knew they wouldn't come back. No fail-safes, no sanctifiers, just neural lead and prayer. I modify the cradle's core. I lace it with concentrated amber. I convert my own brain into a fuse. No tether, no return. I drop. The dream doesn't catch me. It abandons me. There is no nightmare, no office, no loop. Just gray, not color, not absence. Something worse. A blank so profound it devours orientation. My thoughts move, and so I move. Direction is a memory. And then a presence, Michael Blackwood, suspended, frozen in an endless moment of scream, eyes open, mouth open, stuck in the instant of understanding too deep for survival. Still alive, still there, and then behind me, the collapse. I don't see it. I feel the concept of it, pressure parting the void like water, a form larger than perception. It doesn't walk. It arrives. Shoulders too broad to name, limbs without end. A face that remains unformed not because it lacks shape, but because my mind refuses to comprehend it. Above it hovers the crown. Not metal, not weight, Absence, a black hole of meaning, a coronation of what was never meant to exist. "You made me," it says, and I feel those words under my skin like heat rising from a brand, not hate, not anger, need. I didn't know. I tried, but I did. I do. You know what I offer? And I do. Even before he speaks it, I feel the shape of it settle in my skull. Ascension. No more body, no more gray, no more fear of fear, just pure apex instinct, refined and unchallenged. Sovereignty over terror itself. A God that doesn't rule with love or blood, but with the certainty of being the last shape left when the dream ends. It's everything I've ever wanted, so I say no. Not because I'm noble, but because now I see. This isn't freedom, it's curation, another kind of machine, stillness dressed in reverence, a prison. I reach into myself, pull the loop, trigger the chain I built into the cradle, neural surge, amber overload, consciousness converted into pressure. The Lucid King lurches forward, hand outstretched. Too late. The dream rips apart. No blaze, no scream, just fracture. Link, broken. Cradle, burned. Signal, gone. The last thing I feel is silence like a clean cut. I wake. No interface on my neck. No pulse in the wall. I'm on the floor of my apartment. The real one, not the projection, not the shell, just the box I've lived in, stripped of lies. The air is heavy, real. My muscles ache. My breath tastes of blood and metal and something sweeter, stranger. Oxygen unfiltered by dream logic. There is no hum behind the lights, no signal in the floor. The chorus is gone. Outside the window, the Metroplex leans quietly into itself. The towers no longer glow. The train rails sleep. The broadcast domes blink their death throes. A city without command. In the street, people walk without purpose, not chaos. Worse, wonder. Some cry, some laugh. A child stands in the middle of the road, staring up like she just realized the sky isn't scripted. No comfort units, no field agents, no support beacons, only the rawness of what comes next. I step into the hall barefoot. My legs tremble, but they carry me. The silence isn't peaceful, it's unfinished, and I know it won't last. Someone will try to fix it, rebuild the ministry, recreate the framework of safety, but they can't uncut the line. The dream has been loosed. People are dreaming again, without filters, without extractions. Fear is back. Real fear, the kind that stings, that haunts, that sharpens, the kind that makes you human. I'm not the same, I never will be, but I'm here, not whole, not saved, just awake. And maybe after everything, that's enough. I make it to the edge of the block. The wind carries a smell I don't recognize. Warm, metallic, maybe wrong, but it's alive. I breathe it in. No one claps, no one cheers, no one writes my name on a wall. The ministry will rot, or evolve, or rebrand. The butchers will fade. I won't be remembered. But the machine is broken, and I broke it. I take one step forward, then another. No crown, no blade, just the world, unfinished in every direction. And for the first time in longer than I can remember, I don't look back.